Welcome to Sports Wrap. I am your host, Robert Pickford Jr., and together we'll go over the plays, highlight the details, and give you all the analysis for everything you need to make an informed decision on your games on a week-to-week basis. Welcome to Sports Wrap for Week 11. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to have an expanded version of the show today. For starters, we're going to start off with a loss to the Denver community of an all-star athlete, Michael Ray Richardson. He was born 10 years before me, so I didn't personally know him, but we definitely heard about him, that's for sure. We got Michael Ray Richardson. Early life in college, born April 11th, 1955 in Lubbock, Texas, raised in Denver, Colorado, played college basketball at the University of Montana, averaging 17.1 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game. As a senior, he averaged 24.2 points per game and became a top NBA prospect. In other words, he was balling 24.2 points per game. NBA career, this is nice. I didn't know any of this. This is really awesome. Selected fourth overall in the 1978 NBA draft. In 78, I was 13 years old. By the New York Knicks, nicknamed Sugar, played for the Knicks, Golden State Warriors, and New Jersey Nets across 8 NBA seasons. I didn't know he played that long. Averaged 14.8 points, 7 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.6 steals per game. That's a lot of steals. One of his best seasons came in 84-85. I had just gotten out of school. I was up at Greeley. With the Nets, 20.1 points, 20 points, 8.2 assists, and 5.6 rebounds, and 3 steals per game. So he upped it for 1 steal per game. That's crazy, 3 steals per game. Style and strengths. Known for his complete game, elite defense, strong rebounding, for a guard, and excellent playmaking. Isaiah Thomas once said Richardson was the toughest opponent he ever faced. On February 25th, 1986, Richardson was issued a life. I never forget. I don't remember this. I remember it, but it was weird when it was happening. It was like you just couldn't grasp it at the time. It was when cocaine was just starting to make its impact. He got a lifetime ban on February 25th, 1986, for his 3rd drug violation in a row, which means he just was railing it. Though later eligible for reinstatement, he never returned to the NBA. That's wild. He credited the ban and Commissioner David Stern for saving his life. Wow, okay. Legacy and death. Michael Ray Richardson passed away on November 11th, 2025, at the age of 70 after a long battle with prostate cancer. Remembered as one of the most talented guards in the NBA era, whose career was cut off short by struggles. Okay, we're back. I wanted to touch on something that was kind of, every time I keep watching these NFL games, I keep hearing the same names repeated, like Samuel or Surtain, or, and I got to thinking, how many, this is the entire league made up of people whose parents played in the league? Because I keep hearing the same names, Gadsden and you name it, I'm hearing it. So I went ahead and looked up some statistics. NFL, they're called legacy players, NFL legacy players, the 2025 estimate. In other words, they did an audit. We're going to do an audit on the NFL and see how many players are playing currently and their parents played football. So, estimated percentage of legacy players in the NFL. It's pretty low, actually. Approximately 3 to 4% of the NFL is made up of people whose parents played in the league. 32 teams times 53 active players on the roster equals 1,696 players, okay? Estimated legacy players, 58 to 68. They can't really nail it down. So it's probably more, I think it's more like 5 to 6%, but we'll get into that later. Methodology. The most recent reliable analysis, 3 to 4%. Examples of legacy families, the ones we already know. Pat Surtain II, son of Pat Surtain Sr., Asante Samuel Jr., Christian McCaffrey, Ed McCaffrey, Antonio Winfield Jr., son of Antonio Winfield Sr. Keynotes, NFL legacy players percentage remains small but steady. Conclusion, based on the available data and reasonable extrapolation, that's a big word there, roughly 60 legacy players are active in the NFL during the 2025 season, making up roughly 3 to 4%. Perfect. Okay, we're back. We're on to a new subject. We're going to talk about something kind of controversial, and that's cheating. Cheating. Cheaters. People who enhance themselves. People who manipulate. People who can't take no for an answer. That's what we're talking about here. Okay. Cheating in the UFC has been exposed lately, and you know why they would cheat in the UFC. Everybody wants the most ultimate advantage when they're fighting. They don't want to lose. So let's start off with the types of cheating that could occur. Types of cheating: performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs. Fighters use substances that boost strength, endurance, or recovery. Notable cases: TJ Dillashaw, EPO, Sean O'Malley, Ostanine, Chad Mendes, and they list these. Basically, it's EPO, GHRP6, all these technical names for this. Just say caught using steroids, human growth hormone, horse tranquilizers, anything they'll use anything, because it's all these steroids basically have the same function on all anatomy, animal anatomy, human anatomy. Here, you can put a fish on steroids, okay? And they'll start knocking the glass out of the tank. So, rules and infractions, unsportsmanlike conduct, including some of the, so we have PED use provides an unfair advantage and is strictly prohibited by the USDA. Okay. Rules and infractions, unsportsmanlike conduct. This is things that you can do in the UFC to alter a match. So that would include grabbing the fence, glove holding, illegal strikes, and other fouls. It gives you an example here. Tito Ortiz once grabbed the fence versus Rashad Evans to prevent a takedown. Some fighters have even admitted cheating to gain an advantage. Weight cuts, weigh-ins. This isn't really cheating, but it's kind of like if you don't want to face a dude that's your size, what you do is you get your weight up, then you cut as much weight as possible without being able to, with still being able to function. Like, I have to be able to fight, but I want to fight the smallest dude possible. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit hard, and I don't want to get taken down. So what they do is they cut weight almost to the point where they're passing out. Okay, or they're not functioning, or it's a danger zone. So fighters sometimes manipulate the scales or extreme dehydration to make weight. Daniel Cormier admitted to using towel pressure at weigh-ins in 2017, whatever that is, using towel pressure. Such tactics are deceptive and potentially dangerous. Notable cases: Conor McGregor accepted an 18-month sanction, that's a year and a half, for missing 3 dope tests. In other words, Conor McGregor walking around, little Irish, little Irish dude, pumped up like a mother, okay? Ramzan Timarov, suspended 1 year after testing positive for trimetazidine. Damn, not trimetazidine. TJ Dillashaw banned 2 years for EPO use. PED and rules-related scandals have affected numerous other fighters. The UFC's crap. I've been watching it for the last month. It's garbage. They got women in there knocking each other's teeth out and everything else. MMA is already one of the most physically demanding and dangerous sports. Any unfair advantage gained through PEDs or cheating directly affects both fighter safety and the integrity of the sport. Yeah, no kidding. Fighters and analysis such as fighters and analysts such as Joe Rogan have said these acts taint legacies. Joe Rogan's a bum. He's a rich bum. He's good at what he does, but nope. Challenges in gray areas, contaminated substances, supplements. Some fighters claim accidental ingestion. That's what they all claim. I didn't know what was in that powder. I didn't know what was in that stuff. Yeah, you did. Enforcement varies. Testing disparities. In other words, they're getting to the people who are doing the tests. Unpenalized fouls. In other words, they're letting it go. Whatever they want, just let it go. So that's a wrap on that. Okay, moving right into it. We got player updates. Antonio Brown, Jaden Daniels, Cam Scatterbo, and Tyreek Hill. Let's see. Oh, boy, that Antonio Brown, he is just a mess. I don't know what to say about that guy. Antonio Brown was extradited from Dubai back to the U.S. after being arrested on an attempted murder charge related to a Miami shooting. He waived extradition in New Jersey and awaits transfer to Florida for trial. This matter is strictly legal with no football activity updates. Yeah, he's up you know what creek. Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders QB. Jaden Daniels dislocated his elbow during Week 9 game versus Seattle. That was a nasty injury. He fell on his elbow and bent it back in the wrong direction, completely dislocating it and tearing the ligaments. Summary, positive outlook, likely to return later this season. No, he's not returning later this season. Okay, thank you. Go sit your rear end down. If that was my son, he would not be returning this season. Thank you. Cam Scatterbo, not returning this season. New York Giants rookie running back suffered a severe ankle injury. Severe. The severest I've ever seen. Complete dislocation. Fractured fibula. Ruptured deltoid. God damn. In Week 8, underwent successful surgery and has begun rehab. He's out for the 2025 season. Summary, season-ending injury, long-term recovery looks positive. All right, Tyreek Hill. This one's interesting. Miami Dolphins wide receiver dislocated knee with multiple ligament tears in Week 4, underwent surgery, out for the season. NFL future is uncertain. Possible release or retirement discussion. Summary, career-threatening injury, season over, future unclear. Holy smokes. And that's better. And he's got he's one of those brothers that's got like 10 kids. You better slow it down, Bubba. Moving on. Okay, welcome back to Week 11 NFL Smackdown. We're about to get into it. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are 8-2 with 10 games played. Let's get into it. All right, early era, Kansas City dominated. Denver only won one game from 60 to 70. The Denver Broncos were formed in 1960. They did not win but one game in 10 years. Turning points. Denver gradually improved through the 70s, achieving a 7-game win streak from 76 to 79. Their most notable clash was in 97 when the Broncos beat them 14-10, going on to beat Brett Favre in the Super Bowl. Recent era, the first time, from 2015 to 2023, Kansas City dominated, winning 16 straight games. The first game we beat them was with Russell Wilson in 23. Total meetings, approximately 130. Total meetings, approximately 130 regular season plus playoffs. Chiefs lead the series 73-57 overall. as of 2025. Broncos' longest winning streak against the Chiefs was 7 games. That's that 76 to 79 period. Chiefs' longest winning streak is 16 games against the Broncos. That's a lot. Jesus Christ. All right, last and final segment, NFL picks for Week 11. We had that pathetic, the New York Jets, pathetic. They can't win. They're not going to win. The only time they win is when you absolutely just don't pick them, and they just win out of spite. They've managed to win 2 games this year. Okay, Washington Commanders at Miami Dolphins. That's in Madrid, Spain, too. That's so heck. You know what? I think I'm going to take the Dolphins on that one. Because those teams just don't travel well. And Jaden Daniels being out, that's a straight-up matchup. Let's go Carolina Panthers at Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to be, I think I'm going to be forced to take the home team on that one. I like Carolina's new deal, but I think that Atlanta can play just good enough to beat them, especially at home. It's kind of like a homecoming game for those Southern idiots. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Buffalo Bills. Ooh, that's the matchup of the week there. I'm going to go with the home team on that one. We'll have to go with the Bills. Los Angeles Chargers at Jacksonville. Going with the Chargers. Jacksonville's in free fall. Now they're blaming the brother, Travis Hunter. He wasn't worth that pick. Ain't none of them worth the pick, stupid. Ain't none of them worth the $10 million a year. It's just a distraction to keep us tax-paying idiots in line. Chicago Bears at Minnesota Vikings. And got me fired up. Knocked that camera over. Punch a hole in my own camera. Chicago Bears at Minnesota Vikings. Everybody's riding the Bears. Let's go. No, they can't beat the Vikings at home. We'll go with the Vikes. Green Bay Packers at New York Giants. Big fat Dable finally got fired. Brian Dable, who should never be coaching in the NFL. Going with the Packers. Jameis Winston at quarterback. He throws 4 touchdowns, 4 picks. Cincinnati Bengals at Pittsburgh Steelers. Cincinnati, they're getting their quarterback back. I think they're close to getting him back, but they can't beat Pittsburgh at home. Not yet, anyway. Houston Texans at Tennessee Titans. Got to go with Houston on that one. That's another Southern idiot home-cooked meal. San Francisco 49ers at Cardinals. We're going with 49ers. Seahawks at Rams. Oh, my God. Both of my teams are playing. I got to pick. I'm going with the Rams at home. I might switch that. I might go with the Seahawks on that one. Those Seahawks are tough. Ravens at Cleveland. The Ravens at Cleveland. Baltimore. Kansas City Chiefs at Denver Broncos. Here we go. This is it for the Broncos. This is the real game that they should have played 4 weeks ago. I'm going with Kansas City. I don't think the Broncos they're not smart enough. Detroit Lions at Philadelphia Eagles. Woo, we got some games of the week here, my man. We got 4 games of the week. Let's see here. Detroit Lions at Philadelphia Eagles. Both of them are free-falling. They're not playing as well as they did last year. Amon-Ra St. Brown has decided to be a MAGA. He done got punched in the mouth. Philadelphia equally has as many problems. A.J. Brown isn't getting the ball, and he's pissed. He wants to leave. So we got distractions on both sides. That's a toss-up. Take the home team. Eagles, Dallas Cowboys at Las Vegas Raiders. two just legacy squads that blow. I'm taking Cowboys. I hate the Raiders. And I love their colors. I don't like the team. I don't like Tom Brady being there. I don't like nothing. Okay, that's Sports Wrap. What a beautiful show. I'm just glad to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything else is pretty much a push. I wish everyone well. God bless you, and have a wonderful week coming up. Let's try to get past this, and we'll see what happens. Okay? Talk to you soon.